Welcome to part 15 of Metal Arms Glitch in the System. Last time was a bit of a short one, so today I think it's only a matter of time that we... Well, no, today will be a short one too, if the level warrants it, if that makes sense. So if I feel like the stage does not deserve any more time being spent on it, then I will not be too long. If the level is well designed and interesting and well paced and doesn't drag on and is annoying, isn't annoying, and because there are some levels in this game that do truly earn their length. Like when I play that level, I think, oh, yes, I'm glad I spent a good amount of time here because the level had a lot to offer. Okay, this level has the Zombot, or whatever it was, the zombie robot gimmick. Oh boy, that does not bode well. I think what the game developers are trying to tell me right now, see, because I'm good friends with all the guys who made this game, you know, like Jim, and Kat, and fucking... Rob, you know, all the guys who worked on this game, right? And you know what? I bet, like, at least one of those names is actually in the credits for the game. I'm just making shit up. And, you know, they specifically told me, it's like, okay, when we send a bunch of these robots after you, that means that we do not want you to enjoy this next level. That's the arbitrary... See, in our contract for developing this game, we have a couple of obligatory shitty levels we have to throw in, because game publishers are worried that the good levels will be seen as just okay, when in reality they have to be seen as great. Now, we don't have the resources to make great levels, so why is Tikal here? What the fuck? Tikal? Why is Tikal in the... That's not Tikal, that's a fucking... Oh, god damn it, that's just a particle effect. And there's a Daikatana logo, speaking of which, last time I talked about that for a little bit. Well, I didn't really talk about it, I just said that I played a few seconds of that game, and I've had a slightly better time than I'm having right now, actually. Only in the sense that it's really amusing seeing a first-person shooter on the N64 that runs at more than 10 FPS, and it has an FOV higher than 40. Because for as polished and beautiful as the Turok games are on N64, they're fucking unplayable. I mean, good. Thank God for Night Dive, because, like, seriously, you cannot play that shit. It makes you nauseous. And I'm not, like, Total Biscuit or whatever that, like, you know, gets queasy from 89 FOV. Rest in peace, that guy was a legend. But still, he was a little nitpicky with his FOVs, but... Even I have my limits. I mean, like, goddamn, it just looks like you're playing the whole fucking game through a scope, through a sniper rifle, you know? At least this game's third person, so it's less of an issue, except that it's still kind of annoying. Like, I really do feel like this game's a little cramped as well. It's not the worst in the world, but there's games that were released prior to this, running on inferior tech, like the original Unreal Engine, that have a better FOV than this. For example, Rune. I'm never gonna stop bringing that game up. That game's not even that good. It's honestly kind of average. It's great because of its theme and its presentation. That game, it doesn't look amazing. It looks kind of like an N64 game, but the voice acting is fantastic, to be honest. The writing's really good too. I gotta fucking play that. Well, no, because there's already a couple pretty good playthroughs on the internet of that game, so I don't think that me doing it would add much to the conversation. Maybe it would, though, because, I mean, I did Mega Man 11, and last time I checked, Clement has a playthrough of Mega Man 11, and if Clement has done a playthrough of a game, then it's gonna be a pretty fucking good one, because it does really good... He used to do really good playthroughs. Also, Sonic Mania has, like, 1 billion playthroughs, and I did that. And people seem to like it. It actually got some pretty okay viewership. And funnily enough, also Super Mario Sunshine has been picking up. So, you know, thanks for the support, by the way. I know it's probably nothing compared to what I used to get with, like, my review type videos, but it's normal, you know, it's a new audience, and I don't really care that much. Really, I'm just interested in making things to just make, and it's fun. And even with games that I don't fully enjoy, like this one right now, I kind of wish I was playing, you know, like, here's the thing, you have to put on a character, you have to put on a show, and so if I wouldn't be a very good showman if I just stopped playing the game right now, so I'm going to keep playing, of course. I'm miserable as fuck, but I'm going to keep playing. Like, if it were truly up, like, if I wasn't doing this Let's Play thing, if I was just recording myself playing a video game, then all you guys would have to watch would be the same 4 games over and over and over again, just with slightly different graphic settings every time, messing around in the options menus, because I like doing that. It's fun, you know? Because in reality, that's what I like doing. But obviously this is a show, so I've got to show all sorts of different games. It's in the name. Now, I think I'm screwed. I don't know what to do about this. Oh, I have a flamethrower. But is Glitch resilient to fire? Well, we're gonna find out. Let's see. Okay, cool, and we got some health too. Let's see if we can take this guy out now. Oh, there he is. Burn to the ground. I'm burning you to the ground because that, well, funnily enough, he's not going to burn to the ground, he's going to burn, then fall over. Am I going to survive this? That's the question. I don't know. You see, because that's something that's always scared me about games that are not 100% scripted type. Basically anything that isn't a Sonic game, right? Because they're totally scripted platformers where everything happens in a specific sequence. Here, things aren't happening in a specific sequence. There is an element of wilderness. What do you fucking call it? Basically, I'm not supposed to survive this, essentially. It's up to chance if I do. Like, if all of the elements line up, if the stars align, if I have enough health, if I have enough ammo. Oh, wait, I'm gonna fucking die in here, aren't I? Oh, I didn't die in here. Look at that. I'm a fucking god. Oh, I'm dead. Okay. Fortunately, I respawn immediately in this location, right? Yes, I do. That's good. Generous checkpoints, as I said. So how do we take this guy out more effectively? Oh, of course, rocket launcher. Problem is, the rockets in this game are absolutely worthless because they miss all the fucking time. I say that as I just got 2 direct shots, no problem. That's a good point, actually. Come on, just keep firing. Just keep firing. You guys are such assholes. Come on, at least you drop health. Although the problem is they don't drop health every time, so the amount of health that you gain versus how much you lose is disproportionate. Therefore, is he supposed to be in there? Is he supposed to hide in there, or is it an AI problem? I mean, we're gonna find out. All I have to do is just keep shooting him, and eventually, right, the janky fucking auto lock on the rockets. Like, seriously, you're supposed to just. What's the point of having this? Look, it even has like a scope on it, which makes it look as if it's supposed to lock on, but it doesn't. Look how they're blatantly missing. And before you say, well, you're supposed to aim. No, I'm not. This is a console shooter. Console shooters are not meant to be... Hey, look at this shit. You can't fucking aim like this. And before you say, well, why don't you play it on PC? Because there is no PC game. As I said, it's a console shooter. Although, to be fair, it's actually not an excuse. Because let's say the game was also... It was on PC, but it was also released for console. That's a different game now. That's a different version of the game, which should be catered towards the demographic. That's why most of them will have very, very heavy auto-aiming. To the point where you basically never have to aim at all. And that's cool. That's great. You know, that's why, for example, Unreal Tournament on Dreamcast is so much better than Quake Free on Dreamcast, because Quake Free on Dreamcast just assumes you're using the mouse and keyboard because there is no aiming assistance whatsoever in that game, which basically means it's pretty much unplayable on the standard Dreamcast controller. Now, I fucking love the Dreamcast. Not because I've never owned one. It's just a really cool system. It feels like the game system that was never meant to happen. It's like kind of like one of those the trademark shitty game systems that are developed specifically so that in 15 or so years time the AVGN can do videos on them. So like the Jaguar, the Fredio, the Fredio wasn't bad necessarily. It was just kind of overpriced. And the Panasonic the Philips CDI and stuff like that. Yeah, the Dreamcast, it's weird because it kind of feels like one of those systems. It's very technically impressive, but it didn't do very well. Well, no, it did okay. It did way better than the Saturn, but its library is actually good. That's the weird thing. Like, the Saturn gives off kind of failed game system vibes because it, by definition, it's a failed game system, even though it's really cool. But it has some great games on it, like completely, genuinely fantastic games on it. It's got... it's got a lot of really good racing. Can you not? Can you hold on? Why am I stuck in here? What are you doing? I have shot my laser at you a couple times now. Why did it kill me? What the fuck was that? Okay, I guess we're just gonna have to hope that doesn't happen next time. Anyway, but yeah, the Dreamcast has a bunch of great racing games. It's got, obviously, the best games ever made, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. It's also got Jet Set Radio, which I never liked, but I'm saying it's on it because it is on it. It's got a Seaman, which is funny because it sounds like Seamen, ha ha ha. We're 12 years old, and apparently it's voiced by some voice actor I'm supposed to know, but I don't actually know any voice actors, apart from Jason Griffith, of course, and Charles Martinet. How can he not? Also, what else does it have? Sega GT. Well, I already said race. Oh, that's actually not one of the better racing games on the system. Okay, they're gonna fucking lure me in, aren't they? They put that there as a trap. Okay, let's try and get it and get the fuck out. Okay, get it and run. Because if you stay in there, you get soft locked by that Zombot. Because you can't destroy him, obviously. There we go. He's dead. But yeah, that's the weird thing about the Dreamcast, that it just kind of feels like it never even came out, but it did. In fact, they left quite a splash. Like, here's the thing. It was actually a financially successful system for its time. It had a very successful launch. The problem, it wasn't that it killed Sega. Just Sega were killing themselves, basically, with bad decisions at the time, you know? The Dreamcast itself really had very little fault. In fact, if anything, it might have helped keep them afloat for just a teeny bit longer, though maybe if they hadn't spent all that money developing it and making it so good, if they had tried the Nintendo route of making just a total piece of shit. Well, no. The thing is, Nintendo at the time were actually leaders when it came to hardware. Like, the N64 was way better than the PS1 in terms of, you know, pure performance, even though they didn't always show, of course, but that was a matter of support. And the Super Nintendo beat the shit out of the Genesis in almost every aspect. Even though that doesn't necessarily mean it always had the better games, but it had very good games. And in the GameCube, even, the GameCube was way better than the PS2. It wasn't quite as good, of course, as the Xbox, but to be fair, the Xbox was basically just, it was the console gamer's PC, because most games on there, at least most games worth playing, were games that were either eventually ported to PC or games that were initially on PC and ported to Xbox, right? At least the better games on there. Although there are some really great, just normal video games, if that makes sense, implying PC games are not normal. Well, I mean, in my head, they're not, to be honest. Like, there's a very big separation for me between, like, the PC market and the real console market, if that makes sense, especially now with Steam, where anyone can just post whatever game. To be fair, what about the eShops and, like, the PSNs? Well, no, PSN, I imagine, is a little more strict when it comes to what can be allowed on there. Whereas with the eShop, I mean, there's a lot of garbage on there, and WiiWare and stuff like that. Remember WiiWare back in the... You know, WiiWare was actually really cool. It was a very interesting idea, which I think paid off quite well, because there's lots of great games on there, even though there are quite a few not-so-great games. But I do think Nintendo made the right choice of not being so protective of what is allowed on their systems, because yes, well, it does mean that they had a lot of shovelware on there. It also meant that there's just more potential for maybe some better games, you know? Because you're not really doing anyone any favors by making it more difficult to get your games on there, right? You're basically just saying, if we don't approve of your game, fuck you, even if your game could actually be... I just killed myself, basically. Even if your game is actually really good. Am I all the way back here? Okay, no, this is going to be a single level part, most likely, because this is going to take quite a bit of replaying. So as I was saying, before I got so rudely interrupted by the... Oh. The fuck? Are we done? Oh, god damn it, that was short. Ah, you know, okay, fine. You get one more. We're doing one more. That was actually a lot shorter than I thought it would be. Oh no, the snipers, I swear to god, if we have to do sniping, I'm gonna fucking die.
Soldier, try to stay low profile. The snipers will pick you off out in the open.
Oh, thank god, okay. It's one of those scripted, follow the obvious path the game presents you with, and don't do anything else, and you'll be fine type mission. I'm saying this because, you know, I was worried that I would have to do sniping, and as we all know, sniping with anything but a mouse... Oh, wait a second, I think I know what I'm going to be doing here. Haha. No, we're not keeping a low profile, we're keeping a nothing profile, because it's not going to be me, it's going to be him. There you go. Now I can just walk around, and, you know, blow these guys. I think that's what the game wants me to do, right? I hope that's what I have to do. Except that, shit, I just realized, what if that was my only chance, and now I'm... Wait, no, I can just walk around. Yeah, but it's not very useful, though, so let's just commit seppuku, and, let's see how we're supposed to do this. Is it actually possible to get through this section the way you imagine it would be intended, as in genuinely stealthing your way through, just kind of, you know, not getting detected, or... was that all a lie? Like, do they just want me to blow shit up? Because, I mean, like, I can do that. You know, I can... Actually, what is that thing right there? And why would they put health there if they don't expect me to take any damage? I don't know, but you're dead now. Also, what do they mean by snipers exactly? Or do you mean, like, one-hit kill snipers? Hotline Miami snipers? Or... Like, okay, well, because so far I'm not seeing any snipers. I mean, that's the whole point. You're not supposed to see them. They're hidden, and they will shoot you in the head. But the thing is, so far I seem to be doing just fine. I mean... Maybe the snipers show up. What is this thing? Can I pick it up? You got a G-O-F... Oh, Jeff's torso, or Goff's torso, whatever the fuck. Is it supposed to be Jeff? There's no E in that. What do I do with it? Is it a... I think it's a secondary. Is it a secondary? No, it seems to just be a some kind of passive upgrade? I have no idea. Honestly, I can't bring it back up like as a menu item or something, so I'm just... well, I don't know. We're just going to find out what else we have to do. What else? Where else do I go now? I guess over here. And hopefully I just won't get shot down. You got shot down, you got shot down. How does it feel to be shot down? You know, that's a really good song. So basically, Need for Speed Underground 1, right? It has a really good soundtrack, and there's this band on it called, Hotwire. Yeah, they're called Hotwire, and they have a song called Invisible. Everyone wants to be invisible, right? And they have this other really cool song called Not Today. It has this music video, and it's really neat. And dude, like, he sounds like if Tim from Rise Against never really learned to sing. It's just all screaming, and it's like really fucking sick. I mean, he can sing, actually. He pretty well. He also kind of looks like him, too, like back in the day with that hair. It's great, but they never really found that same level of success, which is really unfortunate, because like they were actually really great musicians. In my opinion, at least. I don't know. Like, I don't know how technically good they were, but like I think they made some bangers, so... go check them out. Hotwire. I think they only have like one album out, possibly, and like Invisible had several different versions of it. Like the one on Need for Speed is actually different from the one on the album. That was actually pretty common back then. Okay, I think that's what they were talking about by the snipers picking me off. There's just random arrows being shot at me. They're not even being shot from a source. They're just generated in the air, and they appear on my character doing damage. I think that's how they do it for these kind of things. Like in Half-Life, you know, where you can like you get shot by the snipers, except that they're not really there. I'm assuming I have to zip line from somewhere and then kind of just... oh, no, I think I can actually see where they are. Well, it's too late because at this point I'm just kind of... oh, I can't go there. Well, what am I supposed to... wait a second, I have EMP grenades, don't I? Use them. Yeah, there you go. And hopefully that will disable them for a few seconds. Now, does that mean I'll be able to... oh, I'm dead. Okay, well, what do I do when I'm dead now? Let's see. Oh, I get... oh, nice. I get restarted all the way back to the start of the level. That's awesome, you see, because I was totally looking forward to doing this again. A lot of replay value in this, you know? It's really fun because I think that games should be able to tell a story using nothing but button inputs. So it's... you know how in... I don't know where I'm talking about, actually. I think sometimes I start to speak, and then I realize that I don't actually have a point. I almost never really have a point, but that's not the point. The point is to fill up the air. Now, what's interesting is that some content creators I've watched do that, and it doesn't work. That's the weird thing. But others, it does work. And yet, neither make a lot of sense. But with some, they convey it in a really... convincing sort of way. Oh, that's where it comes from. Convince, convey, etymology, yes. As in, you believe the bullshit they're saying just based on the way they're saying it. And that's a real ability that I aspire to have. To just be able to say whatever the fuck I want and it sounds legit. And not that many people can do it from what I've noticed. Sometimes I'll be listening to some guy who's just like, okay, dude, get to the point. What's the point here? The point is that this is a mission that involves stealth, except this game has no bespoke stealth mechanics, meaning that you can't really stay hidden so much as you can just kind of... what the fuck? What is going on? So much as you can just sort of pretend to be hidden by killing everyone, I guess. Not necessarily being in sight of any of the guys trying to shoot you. Now, I have no ammo, which is kind of annoying. It's really inconvenient when you have no ammo in a game where it's all about shooting, because you basically are left defenseless, which obviously is... it presents the player with a set of interesting choices. Do I splatter my mechanical parts on the left wall or on the right wall? You see, really, it's that kind of game design that just makes me so happy that this series it doesn't exist. You know, actually... it would have been neat for this game to at least get a sequel, like one sequel, to see if they could like make it better. Because you probably would have. Chances are, the thing about video games, because they're not really driven, they're not artistically driven, they're driven in terms of objective mechanics and such, which means that it's much easier to improve them. Because there's no creative aspect, it's just a matter of taking what works and making it better by just adding to it, or removing things that didn't work. So it's really common for the sequel to be even better, right? It's not like with a lot of other things where the second one wasn't as good because they ran out of ideas. No, no, no. You can't run out of ideas with a video game because you can always just make something up, and it'll work as long as it's not, as long as it doesn't contradict the existing game mechanics. Now I'm just gonna skip to whenever I'm past this section because you don't want to watch this again. Okay, good news. I think I'm finally starting to put 2088 and 3,002.84 together, also known as 2 plus 2. I'm collecting the body parts of a character. He said so at the start, I just completely forgot. So I just collected right here, I did it and I forgot to record it. I collected the dude's legs, Goff. I'm just gonna call him Jeff, fuck it. I collected Jeff's legs, and we already collected his torso. Now we have to find his head, I'm assuming, and maybe his arms as well. Even though, no, I'm pretty sure his torso already has his arms. So, that's basically where we're going to be at. Now, in order to prevent further restarts, we're going to... There you go. Your immersion has been broken once again. You know, immersion is an interesting thing because I feel like it's achieved through much more than just visual presentation. It's also a matter of stakes. And because it's really hard... For example, when a game has its theme and its gameplay, so it clash very hard. So let's say I have a game with a very gritty atmosphere that seems as if it presents a very dangerous world, but in the game itself is very easy. And not even in the sense that you get frequent checkpoints. No, I mean like the enemies are very simple. See, this game is actually very immersive. I believe that everyone wants me dead, because even though, let's say I get killed, right? Let's say I die right now. Come on. There you go. I can just do this. I'm using buttons. I'm using like my mouse instead of, because all too often I will hit the button accidentally. But anyway, but my immersion isn't actually broken because I'm gonna die again. I feel as if I'm being hunted. Like this is a hostile environment. This is a world that does not want you to be alive, and it achieves it. Because even though I get infinite chances, each chance is like 2 seconds long before I die again. It's like playing Battlefield Online, you know? I've never played a Battlefield game in my fucking life, except for like a little bit of bot match in Battlefield 2 as I was testing it out, but other than that, it's like, oh damn, wasn't I thinking of doing a focus on B on that game, by the way? Huh, that's never gonna happen. I just don't care about, like, the concept of a big open area where you have to, like, find the 2 pixels worth of guy to actually shoot, and it turns out it was actually your ally, but they all look the fucking same. You know, you see why a lot more colorful shooters became more popular? Because they're easier to identify. Like, you know that big, obvious, different character is not the one that you're not supposed to shoot, right? As opposed to a military shooter where it's like, hey, wait, couldn't you tell by the 5x5 texture, well, it would be an 8x8, the 8x8 texture of a badge on my right nipple, that shows you that, you know, I'm part of your team, don't you see? And I know they have other ways of telling them apart. It's just, it's not enough, and it's never going to be enough for me. That's why I fucking hated playing Counter-Strike as a kid, because I couldn't fucking tell people apart. I was just like, guys, am I shooting my teammate or not? Who do I shoot? So I was afraid to shoot anyone, because I didn't want to shoot my teammates. Now I understand that actually Counter-Strike doesn't suffer from that issue, because the terrorists and counter-terrorists have very, very different outfits. Like, they're completely unique in the way that they dress. So it's actually fine. But other games have that similar, have an issue that is, come on, is this a soft lock? Please don't soft lock me. I just want to, come on. God damn it, the fire goes past them. It doesn't actually do damage to them. Does it? Oh, it does do damage to them. Good. Okay, let's see if we can find some health. Oh, checkpoint. That's even better than health, except it's not, actually, because I have infinite checkpoints. What I want is some health, because look, if I respawn now, look what happens. Oh, I respawn with a teeny bit more health than I initially have. That's good. That's good. Problem is, though, now I don't know where to go. I'm gonna just get myself fucking raped in here. Hold on. Kill me. Come on. There you go. Yeah, it's a very common see, it's how the game gets you, because you can't escape from them. They run faster than you, and they also are able to propel you forward, which I can imagine would be useful for speedrunning. Now, there's a bunch of ammo laying around, which means that I might have already been in this area. Now, I can't recognize any area from a different one, because every single texture in this game is the exact same texture, so I can't tell whether or not I've already been somewhere. But what I can do is at least see the enemies. Okay, I've definitely not killed these guys, because they are not dead, they are alive. Also known as the state of, well, in this case, I was going to say having a beating heart, but they're robots, so I guess they wouldn't have one. but we're just going to go ahead and take them out, even though this is a remarkably similar area to a place I've already been. Now, that is a problem because everything looks the same, but maybe if I keep moving this direction, I will eventually get to a point where I can... I've already been here. This is the bit where I... Hold on. Fuck, let me just... Okay. KMS. Let me just do this real quick. Let me respawn somewhere where I know that I'm making progress. Now, the game's not going to position me in the correct spot, but I think I have to go this way because you have these assholes coming towards me, which must mean that this is the correct way, you see, because when you have the enemies moving towards you, that means that you are actually going the right direction because you don't want to make it too... Yeah, this is definitely the right way because I recognize this split right here in the map. So I now have to go this way, hopefully not get killed. I'm gonna get killed now, I think. Let me think about this for a second. Oh, he can climb. They can climb ladders. Well, they're not ladders. They're ramps, actually. So now, I guess my only option is to use the rockets, except the rockets do splash damage. You see, when I damage them, it also damages me a little bit. Which, you know, it creates a very, very deep internal struggle here. You're thinking to yourself, how much of myself am I willing to give away in order to not be killed by these guys? But if you give too much of yourself away, as in you do enough splash damage to yourself, you die. So you're constantly trying to figure out... It's a puzzle game, you see. This is actually a math tutor. This game teaches you complex arithmetics, because you have to constantly calculate exactly how much damage that the rocket launcher does via splash damage relative to how much health you have, relative to how much damage that the... Oh, for fuck's sake. Where am I supposed to go? Like, honestly, I don't know where I'm supposed to go at this point. I'm tired of being a snarky asshole. It's just like, what am I supposed to do with this in this case? I guess this way? Yeah, there's a dickhead right there, so I'm guessing... Oh, fuck, I don't have any... Okay, I have a rivet gun. That's going to be really useful for like the 2 units of damage that it does to enemies. It's also great. Can you drop some health, please? You know, I'm kind of dying over here. Oh, no, you didn't drop any health. Are you going to drop any health? If you don't, then your function as an enemy in this shooter is worthless because you were supposed to heal me, you ass. No, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm dead again. Okay, great. Now, at this point, I'm losing my patience, and I have no real desire to... Now, here's the thing. I was going to say to play this legitimately. Truth is, I can't play this illegitimately because I don't have any cheats or anything. Like, it's not like I can just enable God mode, like just hit fucking tilde and then GOD to just make myself invincible. I'm fucked again, aren't I? Oh, wait, I'm not. I'm unfucked. That's good. Okay, it's great to be unfucked. So now I can just keep moving through this area. Oh, shit. Okay. I don't think I'll survive this. Statistically, I have no chance of surviving this. I think I should just give up at this point. Let's see. Yeah, okay. I made the right calculation. Let's just... Basically, I'm just going to cut to when I've pretty much completed the stage. You're not going to see most of it. Look what I found. I found a little zip line. I spent quite a bit of time climbing, most of which was spent also resetting. And finally, I have found...
Name's Glitch. Agent Shush sent me.
Agent Shush, a true fighter for the cause. In the trenches, fighting hard, dishing out pain and destruction.
Yeah, he sure is.
Oh, yes! Oh, man!
Hey, you have an info dump for me or what?
Excellent! Our captive comrade was taken to the Mill City Tower, and it's gonna take power, firepower, to bring that bot back in one piece. Do you have what it takes, Trooper? Do you have what it takes?
Yeah.
Now you'll have to go it alone. Yes, you will. Cause Agent Golf don't sign on for no suicide missions. But you got to believe in yourself. Now get out there and head for the tower at the center of the city. Find Agent Shush. He has the means to get you through. You just gotta have the strength and then this servo upgrade, and you shall prevail!
Thanks for the upgrade and the encouragement.
I swear I've heard that voice actor somewhere. 22 minutes? That right there is the world's biggest lie. It's because it doesn't keep track of how many times I reset my save state, you see? Because in reality, that took a significantly longer amount of time, but you know what? That was a very interesting take on a stealth mission, because it had nothing to do with stealth whatsoever. So, you know, it was different. I gotta give the game credit for that. So, I guess next time we're going to see you guys with part 16 of Metal Arms Glitch in the System, where we'll be, I don't know, reuniting with Shush or whatever his name is, and we'll hopefully be doing more things that lead me to the end of the game. Let's go. So, this has been Metal Arms Glitch in the System, part 15. See you guys in part 16.